talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that, don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? You see the greeters on? You see the readers on? Let's talk. I wanted to make some basic points first. Some people will understand it, some people won't. Then we're going to get into this whole micromanaging foolery. It's going to blow your mind at some of the stuff I'm reading from some of the station managers. Yo, blow your mind. But first, we are in the first week of September. For those that don't know, the end of the fiscal year ends at the end of September. The new fiscal year, 2025, starts October 1st, which means everything that was done from October of last year up to September 31st or whatever it is at the end of this year is accounted for one fiscal calendar year for the post office. So this is where at the end of this month, or starting the new fiscal year, that's when they'll start to do their new hire. Well, not new hiring, but they'll start hiring some mail handlers. When the last time you seen a mail handler get hired? They might start using overtime again. But again, they have a specific amount of hours and numbers and amount of money that they can spend, and they try to keep it under a certain amount or as low as possible throughout the fiscal year. So you're going to see some things happen. You're going to see contractors losing their contract because of the new fiscal year. And DeJoy saying he's getting rid of contractors. There's been a contractor called MTI that today the doors just closed. MTI was a huge contractor for the United States Postal Service transporting our mail. I mean, almost 500 employees, truck drivers, and they're gone. There's a whole nother story about that. But let me get into the nitty gritty. I'm going to read what this new observation checklist is. And this video is about micromanaging. This is just any employee that worked at the post office, works for the post office, has to deal with micromanaging. Now, I'm going to read this checklist, then we're going to get into some points behind this checklist because it's madness. It might infuriate you. All right. Office observation checklist. I don't know if there's a new thing that they are coming out with, but like I said before, they are on some other right now. This is for the carriers first. We're going to touch on the carriers, and then we'll get into the other business. Office observation checklist, and none of these are Postal Service PS forms. And what it says at the top, improper work methods. I got a problem with that off rip because, number one, when you have an observation, it's not supposed to be dedicated specifically towards negativity. When I do observations and I drive up to different people on the street and say, hey, you were either you're not wearing your seatbelt, or you're not wearing your lap belt, or you had your door open, or whatever the case is, it also has they were or they were not. And if they did everything good, what do they get for? You know, you give them a whatever it is, but there's always a negative and a positive, or a positive and negative on the form. This already starts off, the title starts off with improper work methods. Office name, route number, carrier's name, time, annotate the time below. And at the bottom, supervisors. Yo, this is full of it. So this is the observation checklist. Playing with mail prior to casing. Tapping mail on a case. Excessive moving of mail at case. Putting mail in and taking out. Stacking mail in piles. Engaging supervisor in unnecessary conversation. Stop casing for no reason. Holds mail too long before casing. Talks excessively to others. Stops casing to talk. does not hold a solid handful of mail while casing letters. And they got these little M-41, 224-, yo, this madness. Does not case flats efficiently. Excessive time completing 3982s, 3575, anyway. Does not push up top letter with thumb of their left hand. What? Works in methodical, deliberate, and slow manner. Picks up one letter or flat at a time. Checks 3982s and or whole mail cards too often. Handling mail before casing. Goes through parcels prior to loading. Completes 3849 in the office. Does not place first relay in satchel. Sizes or separate letter prior to casing. Carrier makes more than 2 withdrawals from distribution case. Unnecessarily strapping out mail on curb line routes. Carrier makes unnecessary trips to load vehicle. It says time carrier began pulling down. Time carrier finished pulling down. Expected time carrier to leave the office based on volume and trips. Actual time carrier left the office. Supervisor comments. Observers, signature and date. Yo, submit sheet to manager daily. That is madness. Madness. You hear me? That's just all negativity right there. Now, either that station has some real issues or they're just on some new shh. Now, number one, it's just a piece of paper because there is no official form behind it. And again, I'm in my little chat group and I'm getting a lot of information, but it's a form. They just picked it up. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Who idiot thing that? Now, the funny thing is that, geez, this micromanaging, it's constant. It's all over the country. It's at every station, at every plant, everywhere. Now, micromanaging, I'm looking at it from 2 different sides, okay? 2 different sides, and just understand, I'm everything USPS. So we're gonna look at the good of micromanaging, and we're gonna look at the foolery behind micromanaging. Increased accountability. Micromanagement ensures that employees are closely monitored, which can lead to higher accountability and adherence to standards. This is good for them on their end, okay? Immediate feedback. Managers provide instant feedback and corrections, helping employees to improve their performance quickly. This is only good if you have new employees and they need help. Where are the managers with the new employees? They just throw them to the wolves. We already spoke about that. Quality control. Close supervision can help maintain high quality standards and reduce errors in tasks and processes. Again, the pros. Detailed oversight. If they're watching exactly what you're doing, and then they get questioned by their superiors, at least they can give a realistic answer. If you walked out to your vehicle and you had a flat, or your key broke in the door, at least when their manager says, "Hey, why is Jeffrey late?" they can say, "Look, I went out there with him. He didn't do anything. The tire was flat. It was blah blah blah." At least they have a detailed accountability. Enhanced training. New or less experienced employees may benefit from the close guidance and support provided by micromanagement. Unfortunately, we know that the managers and the supervisors do not offer much support. It is almost 90% of them don't. And the 10% that do, I simply applaud you for doing that. Now, the cons of micromanaging, which is, we can just go through this list. Reduced employee morale. Oversight leads to feelings of mistrust and frustration amongst employees. Have any of you felt like that? Negatively impacting morale. I ain't never see somebody run into the job. "I'm happy to be here." Shit. Increased stress. The pressure of being constantly monitored can increase stress levels, leading to burnout and decreased productivity. I think that every carrier, I don't know of anybody that is in this country that works for the post office that has not been stressed out because of the post office. Inefficiency. Managers spending too much time micromanaging may neglect other important responsibilities, leading to overall inefficiency. They worrying about one part of the operation, but forgetting the other parts. Why did you get all this stuff out? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? Well, you micromanaging me, but you forgot that the dock plate is broken. You said you were going to have somebody out here to get that dock plate fixed so that the truck driver can push the mail off. Right now, we're unloading every bit by bit, one by one. That's what's taking so long. Or did you forget? Again, this is the cons of the micromanaging. High turnover. Anybody ever experienced seeing somebody quit? It's everybody watching me right now. Employees dissatisfied with micromanagement may seek employment elsewhere. This is the time and day and age where people just quit elsewhere, resulting in higher turnover rates. And that costs money when they pay people to recruit new people. That's the facts. Stifled growth. When you continually have new people come in, the people that are there's no chance for them to continue flowing because they have to stop and continually train new people. You cannot progressively get better because you've built a good team. If you have a football team, but every game you change a player, that team ain't never gonna win. It's just not gonna win. It's foolish to think that they would win. Lower job satisfaction. The lack of trust can lead to decreased job satisfaction, making employees feel undervalued and underappreciated. It just is. How many of you feel appreciated by the work you do? Communication breakdown. Overbearing supervisors lead to poor communication. Employees feel intimidated or reluctant to share their thoughts and concerns. That happens all the time. Being a supervisor is a lonely job. Nobody want to talk to them about anything. Why didn't you tell me what was going on the street? Man, I ain't trying to talk to you. Every word that come out your mouth is negative. If I tell you, hey, there's an accident right there on the corner as we're pulling out of the station or as we're pulling out of the plant, but we know you're going to blame us because somebody else had an accident, what the hell's the use of even telling you for? That's what they kind of do to themselves. This is true. Negative workplace culture. I'll say it a million times. Change the culture. Ooh, buddy. This place is that it. A culture of micromanagement can create a toxic work environment, fostering resentment and reducing overall team cohesion and collaboration. There is no teams because they continually switch players and nobody wants to collaborate with each other because you have management that turns employees against each other. You have management that turns shop stewards against each other. You got employees that turn management against other employees. This place is screwed up. That at the end of the day, it's screwed up. And at the end of the day, we have to also realize a true fact behind this. Today, more now than ever, employees, the new people that are coming in, are not tolerating being spoken to or disrespected. They're just not. The day and age where a person can sit there and dog somebody out, that's over. These people, these new people that are coming in, are willing to sacrifice a day or night in jail just so that they can put their hands on somebody. There's so much assault going on because a lot of these supervisors that they're putting in here are not trained to supervise the right way. It's not put somebody in there that knows how to use a computer. No. It's not put somebody in there that knows how to follow your direction. No. They have to have the right temperament. They have to have the right skill set. They have to have the right knowledge in order to manage a team. And unfortunately, a lot of them that were here before were accustomed to the old ways. The new ways are not the old ways, and people are ready to rumble. It's true. It is true. There are so many instances of people around this country saying, man, you know, the supervisor went and he did this to this other employee. He put his hands on this other employee, or the employee put the hands on the supervisor. This should not have to come to this. And I pray that Mr. DeJoy watches this because he needs to change that culture. He needs to get fresh people in here that respect each other from top down, have realistic expectations. I know we have expectations because we have a business to run, but at the same time, you're dealing with humans. You're dealing with everyday people. And if the micromanaging doesn't change, there's a way to manage, there's a way to micromanage without being disrespectful. The micromanaging is already coming in with the scanners, with all the GPS trackers, with the barcodes. Everything is micromanaged. But then you have people that create these made up forms so that they could continually push a button. People today ain't dealing with that. I understand you got to get answers and you have to answer to people up top on what's going on. But that form and that type of micromanagement is not accepted. It's not acceptable because it's just pure bull. You cannot approach another human being with a guard up talking about, hey, I'm gonna watch you to see what you do wrong. Who does that? What? You're not watching me to see what I do right, but you're watching me to see what I do wrong? Man, you do it. I'll watch you. Show me. That's my main thing. Show me. Hey, I'll follow exactly what you do. Well, exactly. This is JH. I hope this information was good to somebody. And I'm out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.